Hi guys, my name is Matti Sulanto and welcome to another video. In this video I'd like to talk about Micro Four Thirds, more specifically why Micro Four Thirds is not doing so well at the moment. And before all you fanboys get all wound up and start leaving nasty comments down below, let me say that I like Micro Four Thirds. I own 3 Micro Four Thirds camera bodies and a few lenses. And I'm not saying Micro Four Thirds is a bad format. There are lots of people, me included, who like the format. But the fact is that it's not doing that well at the moment. Most consumers prefer another format with a bigger sensor. And in this video, I'd like to share a few thoughts of mine on why that might be the case. And feel free to leave your comment down below or your thoughts down below, but please be polite. I'm not your enemy. I also like Micro Four Thirds. I think we all benefit if there are more camera brands, more manufacturers, and more systems to choose from, because we all shoot different things, so more choices is definitely better than less choices. I think one reason is that Micro Four Thirds image quality simply is not good enough for some. And I know what you're going to say. You're going to say that no one can tell by looking at the picture what camera the photographer used. But that's not the point. If you are not happy with your camera's image quality, then I come and tell you that your pictures look just fine. That doesn't make you any happier. You, as a photographer, have to be happy with your camera's image quality and your camera in general, and vice versa. If I'm not happy with my camera's image quality and you come and tell me that the image quality is just fine, it doesn't make me any happier. I have to be happy with my camera's image quality. Some people really need that better image quality, but some people just want that better image quality whether they need it or not. People buy over-performance all the time, regardless of what they buy. Cars, coffee makers, washing machines, and whatnot. And when it comes to cameras, they simply want the best image quality or the best they can afford. And that might be one reason why they choose another format instead of Micro Four Thirds. One reason could be that now other manufacturers have caught up. Micro Four Thirds manufacturers, Panasonic and Olympus, they were the pace setters in mirrorless. Their cameras were very sophisticated early on, while others were still making old-fashioned clunky DSLRs. But today, every mirrorless camera is very sophisticated, and to be honest, Micro Four Thirds lost its lead already some years ago. There are no more Micro Four Thirds specific unique features. True, there are some niche features in some camera bodies, but nothing significant to attract loads of customers to choose Micro Four Thirds camera bodies and lenses. One other reason is that Micro Four Thirds cameras are simply too expensive. Especially the latest Micro Four Thirds cameras are not exactly cheap. And maybe customers simply feel that a bigger sensor camera offers better value for money. And the problem, of course, is that the marketing cost and the research and development cost, it's pretty much the same regardless of the size of your camera or the sensor size of the camera. Also, the material cost is pretty much the same unless we're talking about really tiny cameras. But the latest Micro Four Thirds cameras are not even that tiny. They are the same size as APS-C or full-frame cameras. The only cheaper part in a Micro Four Thirds camera is the sensor. But everything else being the same, the sensor only can't make the final product that much cheaper than another bigger sensor camera. And another reason is that the size is not everything. Micro Four Thirds cameras or camera systems can be really tiny. But maybe the ultimate compactness is still not that important for most consumers or most photographers. Today, many photographers have a phone camera as their everyday carry camera. And whenever they need something more substantial, a dedicated camera, maybe they are prepared to carry bigger and heavier, even bigger and heavier than this camera, because they are not carrying it every day and everywhere. And a full-frame camera system like mine can be really compact if you don't need long telephoto lenses. And then there are other niche choices for people, for example, into street photography. The GR3, for example, is an excellent example of a really super compact APS-C camera. But it's true, of course, that you can build a super compact system around one of those tiny Micro Four Thirds camera bodies, and that's perfect, for example, for outdoor person, for hiking or something like that. But maybe there are not simply enough people who appreciate that ultimate compactness, and that's why they choose another sensor size or another system instead of Micro Four Thirds. Another reason could be that the overwhelming majority of commercial professional shooters use full-frame cameras, and recreational shooters tend to choose the same gear as the professional shooter that they admire or follow in social media or whatever. And maybe when they choose the same camera or the same brand as the professional they admire, maybe it makes them feel more confident in their own photography. It is sad, I agree, but that might be one other reason why people tend to go for full frame, for example, instead of going for Micro Four Thirds. Because they feel Micro Four Thirds tiny sensor is simply not good enough, and they feel more professional or better photographers if they are shooting on a full frame camera. One other reason could be that the phone cameras are already so good. And I'm not saying that the phone camera image quality can, at least not yet, rival Micro Four Thirds image quality. But I'm saying that maybe some consumers, or many consumers, when they want a dedicated camera, they want a camera that is as far away from the phone camera as possible. The sensor size, the image quality, and everything. And that would be a full frame camera, of course, because medium format is too big, too cumbersome, too expensive for most. I really think that Micro Four Thirds would be a perfect system for many recreational photographers. And of course, it's good also for professional commercial use. There are many professionals also happily shooting on Micro Four Thirds, but it's especially good for recreational photographers and beginners because it's easier to use than a full frame system, for example. But right now the future for recreational average Micro Four Thirds shooter doesn't look that good, because it looks like Panasonic and OM System, both main Micro Four Thirds manufacturers, it looks like they are concentrating more on those high-end models and not on those mid-range models aimed at the regular recreational user. I would really love to see some new affordable mid-range, innovative, competitive Micro Four Thirds camera models, not only those high-end models for high-end video shooters or high-end photographers. But right now the competition is so fierce, and it's really super difficult to offer something unique at affordable price, and something that the competition is not already offering. So these are my thoughts on the current situation of Micro Four Thirds. I'd like to hear your thoughts down below. Please do share them. And if you have ideas what should be done to turn the market share from going down to going up instead. I hope my pondering, rambling gave you some food for thought. Thank you so much for watching, and if this was enjoyable or entertaining, please do consider buying me a cup of coffee. There's a link down below for that. If you don't live in Finland, thank you, and I'll see you in the next video.